Crash! You hear that noise coming from the basement where all the kids are playing as all the adults are upstairs having dinner. Everyone runs downstairs, and there you see all the children standing around with that uh-oh look on their faces. Then you see it, a small river of water coming from that room. Upon further inspection, you see that the bathroom sink is now on the bathroom floor. What do? All you know is that you want a quick and easy solution, but how? That's where Perserbid comes in. We help you find, hire, and pay for contractors with a click. The average homeowner spends way too much time and worry trying to find contractors to do work on their house. They do this by asking friends, searching Google, or going through a myriad of other websites trying to find a match. And then they have to keep track of all of that on their own. Contractors themselves don't have it easy. It costs money to get in front of customers. The Small Business Administration recommends between 7 and 8% of your revenue be spent on ads. Some contractors spend upwards of 10%. One contractor in Kingsport spends $400 to get someone through the door. That's $400 per person through the door, and that's the Tri-Cities. What's the average cost here in Asheville? You're probably wondering how the process works. Well, it's very simple. As a homeowner, you post a job, you get your estimates, you pick a contractor, pay through a milestone escrow, and then rate the contractor at the end of the job. The contractor themselves, it's another simple process. You see the jobs in your area, you do your estimates, set up your milestone escrow, get paid, and then rate the homeowner as a customer. Currently, we operate in the Tri-Cities, Tennessee, but we're looking to expand across the state of Tennessee and into North Carolina very soon. And the way we market right now is through word of mouth, community interaction, business groups and associations, and trade shows. Earlier this year, we did the Kingsport and Johnson City trade shows, and between the months of February and March, we had over $150,000 worth of jobs posted on our site, ranging from concrete front step repair to kitchen and bath remodels, all the way up to a full house remodel. Perserbid charges 6% on the homeowner side, takes 3% on the contractor side. There's no upfront fees, no subscriptions, no cost to post bids, or no cost to bid on jobs. The team is Matthew Mayfield. He's the COO. He is a serial entrepreneur and has a strong sales and marketing background. Then we have Robert Priatley. He's our CFO, background in business finance, and has worked for a Fortune 500 company in the region in the finance department. And then myself, Edwin Williams, the CEO, founder of Perserbid, and I'm also on the board of directors for the Home Builders Association of Tennessee and the board of single family homes for the National Association of Home Builders. So let me ask you again, homeowners, are you looking for a better way to find and do business with contractors who work on your home? Contractors, are you tired of being nickel and dimed looking for customers to do business with? Yes, you are. Do you want to be part of a company poised to expand across the country and years from now look back and reminisce, I remember when? Yes, you do. We're close to having this engine purr, and we have contractors across the entire country waiting for us to get to their market. But we need money to do that. That's why we're asking for $275,000 for 15% post money so we can hire programmers in-house so we can further develop our platform and optimize it so we can expand across the Southeast and then across the entire United States and Canada. So if you want to be part of that journey, please talk to me after the pitch, contact us, and visit us on our website as well. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I enjoyed that. And, it's a problem I have seen in my life. So, you said that you were basically building out your company by contacts with the businesses that do contracting work.
Yes, that's correct.
In homes. How do you reach the people who need those services? How do you make yourself or plan to make yourself known to homeowners, which is a very different group?
So right now, again, it's like through community interaction. So if I go back to that slide, many of those, so for instance, we've got social, for instance, Peak and YP Tri are social organizations that we are very active in. We've got up and coming homeowners there, different groups. We're a member of the Northeast Tennessee Association of Realtors. We'll be working with realtors as they buy and sell homes to get the homeowners in front of Perserbid, because that demographic where homeowners are most likely to use our services is when they're buying a house or getting ready to sell a house. And also just different, for instance, we have with the organization Small Business Festival, Downtown Merchants Association, other organizations like that who put on festivals across the region. We are sponsors in both of those as well, and it allows us to be in front of people who come to those events. We will have booths and talks there and marketing material as well. So that's how we're starting off, and then we plan to then use TV ads later on down the line and other means of marketing.
So great, great setup for the problem. I could feel the knot in my stomach, seeing the water on the floor. I mean, I get the frustration. Clearly, there's a market out there. My take is you're a digital clearinghouse, and that's an obvious solution, so I like all that. You articulated a way to make money, and you've got a pretty solid team, although my read was if you're a digital solution, you don't have a founder who's tech, but you're going to hire that, so that just seems like a vulnerability.
Yes.
I think the reason that I have pause with this is I could probably list, but you probably should do it rather than me, a dozen competing solutions for this. You know, like, I'll just give you one. Like, Nextdoor is one that I use when I have a question, and I get other homeowners who've used other resources to tell me about this. And as best I can tell, that's free to me.
Yes.
So I think the challenge you seem to have in front of you is how do you outrun all these competing solutions and own what you're trying to put together?
So one of the things that we are going to do as with our funding is our next phase is putting all the, right now we track all the data per user. We will be tracking all that data per house. So as you do the work on our platform, it'll be tracked to your house. And if you sell it to another person, they will get all that data as well. So they'll be able to see who's worked on the house, when it was done, if there's a warranty on that information, and added value. And that's one of the features we are putting in as we move forward this year. So our goal is to put in a much more added value than what is just in this pitch with future features. But that's what we are asking for the money to.
That's big, and that did not, I mean, I don't know if it got,
didn't
that didn't come out to me in the talk. I mean, that's certainly, all of a sudden I'm leaning forward, and that's really interesting. So I think you really got something you can sell there, you know, with a data play rather than just the mechanics of being a clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So the rhythm of the presentation was just perfect from beginning to end. And so my question is actually on this slide. So you're asking for money. And if you could just shed more light on what's in it for the investor besides the 15%? Why do you think that this is a good opportunity that an investor should put money down on you guys?
Well, I guess a quirky joke is you could be Peter Thiel and not Chris Sacca with Facebook, where Chris Sacca laughed Mark Zuckerberg out of his room. And Peter Thiel didn't. The opportunity for the investor is a good return on investment. We've got a network with our participation in the National Home Builders Association across the entire United States and Canada, and even to other markets internationally. And so for an investor to come in, give us money, that gives us the ability to get to the point where we can hit these other markets where we've already been contacting contractors and homeowners in these markets. Not overly aggressively, but letting them know that we exist. And the return could be huge.
When did you guys launch?
So we did our official launch last August,
Okay.
and about August 13th last year.
And have you kind of run the numbers on how big you might be in 5 years?
Not really. We've been really just focusing on optimizing our platform, getting our regional market saturated, and then start moving and longer term.
Okay, I mean, so that's something that you might do, even if you don't do it in Excel, at least have the conversation. Well, it feels like we could be doing so much business 5 years from now, and then you'd be able to tell, give some indication to your investor what's in it for him or her.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was a bit unclear about the $150,000 you did in that 6-week period.
Yes.
Was that the total value of contractor services? Was that your
Yes.
not your 6% plus 3% take on
The-
how does?
So that 150 was the total value of jobs, not what we take, but the actual value of like the jobs themselves that the contractors would be putting their estimates on.
I think you need to be clear about that because
Okay.
really that's a much smaller number.
Yes.
Not just to give people an accurate assessment.
Okay.
And the last thing is, what do you tell the people who put money into your enterprise as to how they will get returns on that money?
Okay.
Is it going to be through the revenue stream? Is it because you, plan to go public? How do you see your business developing longer term?
So for the people who give money in, it'll be through either an IPO exit we hopefully plan for, or an acquisition where we get bought by another company and be a liquid exit.
And then have you been an entrepreneur before?
This is my second company.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was your first company?
It was a smart ball that was controlled by an app where you could control the vibrations to fatigue your muscles out faster.
Okay.
It was targeting performance athletes.
And have you, so with this enterprise or that enterprise, did you do any like incubators or kind of tap into the support community?
I did not know.
Oh, so you might. I mean, because you got I don't know, instinctually you got a lot going, and if you were in the fertile environment of a community of entrepreneurs like I don't, you guys hatched it, that might be something that you can get a lot out of.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
We've all been
Turn my
there.
phone off.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. So think about there's these incubators popping up all over the place. Maybe even where you live as well, and you might see if you can't
Tap into that.
join some group.
Okay. I'll do that. Thanks.
And I would tell you, fellow founders are much more brutal than we're being here. You get the real deal every day.
That's what I need is brutal.
We've got time for a couple audience questions if anybody's got any thoughts they want to share.
How much that 150 posted actually transacted?
So we're still in the process of clearing those jobs. Right now, I would say about 10 has cleared. So out of that, we got 9% of that 10,000. The rest of it is still on the site in the process of being dealt with by the contractors as they come through. Yes.
Yeah. You talk about how you're not just matching the need to the provider, but you're actually facilitating that transaction. As far as I know, as a homeowner, nobody does that. Like, you can use Nextdoor or Andy's List to find them, but then it's a real pain in the ass to like call them and get them to call you back and begin that transaction. Is that a unique advantage over competition, or is somebody else providing that facilitation?
That is unique in terms of the milestone escrow. We do have actually a competitor in Greenville, South Carolina, Contractors Edge. But in terms of the actual matching component, I believe we're the only ones who do that currently.
And it sounds like you've got to focus on the homeowner, and if theirs is, what was theirs? Contract.
Contractors Edge,
That
yes.
doesn't sound like somebody that I want to.
Yeah, they're focused on the contractor side. And,
It's a terrible
That's a pretty big deal.